Yeah. Press on. Yep, we got gang member Fox here. Officer Fox. I'm meeting him in the parking lot. It gets harder and harder for these guys to sneak up. They try and do it. See, when you approach a gang member, you want to approach from an angle, because they can be explosive. Car number 77. It was a little suspicious the way you parked.
Why is it suspicious?
I'll let you know everything you need to know when I'm done with this stop, okay, officer?
I got you.
How are you doing today?
All right, I'm good. I will talk with you, but let me
go ahead.
My business
You're
first.
typing Unit 1 bearing TXLB traveling southbound in parking lot in the 1000 block of West University Avenue. Oh, he's trying to have privacy. This is called, what you're trying to do is take liberties with privileges right now, Fox.
Take liberties.
You don't have the right to. You don't have the right to privacy, and you're trying to take a right.
I just want to.
You only have privilege. Go ahead and type.
Right.
Don't let me stop you.
I will get out here.
I'm right with you the whole way. He's writing up a dispatch record. Call reference number 287. Failed to control speed and collided into, oh, this is hot off the presses, into parked vehicle. He doesn't type very well. It keeps deleting. And okay, so I'll read the whole sentence. Failed to control speed and collided into parked vehicle until 2 bearing TXLP JDF 35392. That must be a license plate. Witness identified only as Jessica 512. Man, he's giving out all kinds of personal information. I'm not going to say the phone number. I'm just not going to do that. This is wrong. I can read the phone number right here. And he's letting me see a witness statement. See, he's doing this in public. His notes are very undetailed. It's only because I have respect for a witness, not that I'm not saying the phone number right here. Stated she observed Unit 1 collide into Unit 2. Okay. So the witness stated she observed Unit 1 collide into Unit 2. He's having real issues with his typing. Responding officer of Unit 2 was initially, he abbreviated responding officer to RO. So responding officer Unit 2 was initially perturbed about receiving news about his vehicle, and he just used about twice in the same sentence. I'm gonna have to have a talk with him about grammar, about sentence structure, but was satisfied there was no damage, but she was perturbed. Interesting word to choose. To his vehicle. I wonder if he wrote that on his notes, because his notes don't consist of much, so I don't know where he got that. The RO was given event number 2019. Oh, we got another guy coming. Oh, he's trying to bribe Officer Fox with a free smoothie until 8 o'clock. I got a free smoothie too, but... So the RO was given event number 2019-036-508. That's the event number. And PD business card with the non-emergency... I'm going to have to get a business card with the non-emergency number. While on the scene, I gave the RO of Unit 2 the insurance information of Unit 1. Nothing further to report. So Kenneth Gunner was the caller. That was at 1013 University Avenue. Alright, I'm gonna have a few things to talk to Officer Fox about here. Yeah. We're gonna have to talk about vocabulary, sentence structure. Alright. One, you used the word about twice in the same sentence. We're gonna have to talk about sentence structure, Fox.
Well, it's notes.
In the word perturbed, where did you get that? Because I noticed it wasn't on your notes there. Perturbed is such an inflammatory word.
Inflammatory?
Inflammatory.
No, it's not.
Perturbed?
Perturbed.
Did the witness use that word?
That's how I described him. You coming in?
I
follow me. Okay.
I'm gonna finish my cigarette, but let him order. You know what I mean? So, just a little backstory. I'll talk while I'm letting him order and finishing the cigarette. Is that the other night, before I had the tyrant alert with Deputy Pence, I was walking over the bridge right past that. I had just gotten past the sign that hadn't been moved yet, and Officer Fox drove by. I'm pretty sure it was him. I recognized his voice, and he got on the loudspeaker and he said, "Hi, David," on his loudspeaker, right? Well, I've already talked to him about this before, about revealing people's names, that, you know, he's not supposed to reveal that. But he did, and I talked to a sergeant about it too, because on traffic stops he likes to say my name, and you know, I don't think that's right. I mean, he's supposed to he shouldn't be giving out my name. I'm not a criminal, so he doesn't know it by any, you know, he hasn't arrested me or anything. Nobody has. So the only reason he knows my name is because he found out from some other officer or something. But nevertheless, he just let me read that report, and even had the phone number on it. You know, he should have done that on his own time, maybe at the station, at the gang lair. See, that's a privilege that I'm taking away until I find out who this gangbanging tyrant is with the green pants on the sheriff's department. You know, the PD's not free and clear just because it wasn't their department. They're still under scrutiny just as much, you know, and they want to sit in parking lots and write reports real fast with bad sentence structure and grammar, throwing out inflammatory phrases like perturbed and satisfied as to the state of mind of the witness. You know, you shouldn't be testifying. Oh, he just looked out the door for me. He can't wait to get on YouTube. I have so many interviews with him. He's the little piggy that tried to give me orders. We'll see. Officer Fox, are you sticking around or are you running?
I don't run.
I've seen you run a few times, yeah.
Well,
actually, I've never seen you actually run.
Never actually. Hey, I saw you crossing the bridge the other night.
That was you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we've talked about that before, about saying my name.
Oh, first names aren't privileged information.
It is.
No, it's not.
It should be.
No, it's not. But it's not.
It's not?
No.
How do you know my first name, though?
Because you told me what your first name was.
No.
After I asked you, well, because I watched your video, and then you identified yourself, so then I called you by David.
So you're making a distinction between first names. I mean, you don't know my last name anyway,
no,
but you're making a distinction there? you're saying first names aren't privileged, last names are.
That's fact. First names aren't privileged information.
They're not.
No, it's in a phone book. It's
So
people
when
put signs on.
Okay, so when you stop
billboards.
somebody from now on, you'll give me their
When you
first
what?
name. When you stop somebody from now on, and I ask you what you stopped them for, my second question will be, what's their first name? And are you going to tell me that?
Sure.
All right, that's a deal. All right, then I'll let you off the hook on that one. I won't even make a complaint about.
Hey, I heard you called me out with a deputy. Somebody had said that they watched one of your videos, and then I guess there was a deputy that wasn't being very nice to you.
When I called you out? Oh, about the
and you
judo.
said verbal judo.
Oh, I told because I out judoed him. It was that was so funny. I told him to get with you and get the verbal judo book because he needed to go back to training.
One of my officers told me about that, and he says, "You really carry it?" I was like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, the verbal judo.
No, it's a good read.
That's so funny. You know, I never would have known that was actually a book until you pulled it out, and that was so just a coincidence that I brought that up and you actually had it. You know, that was.
He laughed. He goes, "You actually have that?" I said, "Yeah."
Did you see that video?
No, I haven't watched it. I actually haven't watched your channel in a minute. So.
Well, it's popping off right now. There's a tyrant alert on Deputy Pence and Lieutenant David.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, there was a hell of a scene.
Lieutenant David.
There was a hell of a scene.
The county?
Yeah, the sheriffs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this happened yesterday early morning.
What happened?
It was like in nighttime, but like it was actually yesterday. You should watch the video. It's a hell of a scene. If you watch it, you'll see me like you've never seen me before. I really tested the First Amendment, that's for sure. I slapped the shit out of him with the First Amendment. And then yeah. It was a bad scene. I wanted that sign moved that was on the on that overpass there that had been blocking the sidewalk for at least 2 days.
Sign? You mean?
Yeah, there was a sign that said utilities.
Sign?
It wasn't construction. It said utility work ahead, but
so it was letting people know that there was something going to be on the roadway.
Well, I don't really know their intention, but it wasn't like supposed to be closing down the sidewalk, which is what it was doing. Could you get around it?
It was probably more.
No, I couldn't even. I had to go into the road. It was on the bridge, and.
I'm not sweet enough. Whatever that vanilla is. Please.
No, I couldn't get around it, but I'm not worried about me getting around it. I'm more worried about blind people in wheelchairs. And it made no sense why it was there at all. Like, it was only on the bridge and it was at the end. And it was facing this direction, right? So once you get to the end of the sidewalk, then it was like stopping you. So if you're blind or in a wheelchair, you walk all the way across the bridge and then you can't get any farther. Okay, and then, but once you get past the sign, the next sidewalk is not closed. Those signs are off on the grass on the side, you know.
Oh, that's good stuff.
And yeah, the nitro, it's hardcore.
Well, no, they're
like, you know.
So this was cold brew.
Oh, cold brew? All right. Well, I had reported it. There's a playlist. It's called Tyrant Alert. And
is it on your channel?
Yeah, I've been posting a lot lately. But you should look at the playlists and go to the Tyrant Alert and watch from the beginning. And you'll see, because I tried to, I did. I stopped Detective Vasquez when he was driving over the bridge, and I held up my hand and he stopped. And I reported it to him, and he said he was going to call the street department and get it moved. But then the next day it was still there, and that was when I was walking over the bridge when you got on your.
I heard him on the radio call.
Oh, you did? Well, nothing happened. And the next night, when you said my name on your radio over, then after that, I caught Deputy Pence right there, and I ran after him, and he was at the light, and he was actually stopped in the sidewalk, in the crosswalk, illegally, But I wasn't paying attention to that. But I ran out in the crosswalk and went next to his window and was like this. And he's a tyrant. I've met him before, and he's a real tyrant. He's a loose cannon, and And he's already worn out his chance to give me unlawful orders and threaten me with arrest. He lost his privilege to do that like last October, and he tried to do it again, and he got slapped real hard with the First Amendment. Yeah, I grabbed his little sack and squeezed it so hard that little brown line exploded all over his donut Dunkin' face, and that's the truth of it. And within like 5 seconds, there was 4 deputies. And they had the whole street blocked off, and they were threatening me with arrest for every which way, for yelling on the sidewalk, for stopping in the road, but I was actually in the crosswalk, and the light was red, and no one was coming, and he was in the crosswalk blocking my way anyway. And it was only for a few seconds. I mean, for anything, you know, but they weren't worried about moving the sign. And then Lieutenant Kennedy went over and moved it like 1 foot, right? And still, like, nobody could get by. It didn't matter. But the Super Trooper, there's actually a Super Trooper that punked the hell out of all of you guys, and that's the final episode. You really should watch it. It's Super a Tyrant Trooper, Alert. Huh? Yeah, there is one. The troopers have been very bad, but he did a lot to restore the image. He threw one sign, and Wilco and GPD went running back to the gang lair. You know, threw one sign. You know about gang signs. You claim blue, Wilco claims brown. I don't know what the troopers claim.
Tan.
Maybe. I've heard the military is claiming green now. Like, I mean, this all started from just the blue line, and now, like, it's morphed into all green. These separate.
Oh, always be green.
You're green for the military?
Mm-hmm.
I still like the military, but as long as they don't come off base and point their weapons at the people, but they do that.
It would have to be
they do it.
It would have to be a serious failure in civility.
It is, and it makes me cry every time I see it, and I've seen it many times. Photographers standing outside on public property of military bases, and they come out and they've taken them and taken them on base before, and sweated them out in cars and stuff.
Federal government.
No, that's the military. We're not talking about the federal government. That's the military.
It's still the federal government.
No, it's not.
It's still federal government.
I mean, it's
on my
leave
and
that
statement says federal.
Yeah,
it's federal government.
I mean, we both know there's
David,
a difference, kind of.
You're talking in an area that you don't know anything about.
Well, there is a separation.
Time out.
It is federal. It is federal.
You were never in the military.
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, but you're talking about something you don't necessarily know.
Were you ever in the ocean?
Yes, I was on the ocean.
You swim in the ocean?
I swam in the ocean.
Down deep? How deep did you swim? Because I've heard you talk about sharks. Do you go down as deep as the sharks swim?
Well, sharks can swim on the surface.
They can?
Yeah.
They can swim on the surface?
Yeah. You know what I learned about great whites?
You don't always have to do something to know something about it.
Yeah.
No, you
swim
don't.
with sharks.
I said you don't always have to do something to know something about it.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on that.
You don't agree? You think you have to do something to know anything about something?
I don't agree. I don't agree. I think you should. I mean, I'm not by any means a shark expert.
Right.
But there are experts out there.
That's right, because I did a little research, and it turns out that sharks don't need to keep swimming. They actually do stop, but when they stop, they sink. So you're definitely right on that one. You're not a shark expert.
No.
When you said that, I immediately got my Google fingers out and did a little research.
No, I never told you that sharks
Yeah,
sink.
you did. Yeah,
No?
you did. No, you said they can't stop swimming. They have to move all the time. Yeah, but they don't.
They have to move forward to have water go across their gills.
No, they only have to move forward in order to float, in order to stay buoyant. They sink when
they have.
You're doubling down?
They have something in their.
You're doubling down.
Let's say it's their
You're doubling down.
Or something that allows them to adjust to depth.
Yeah, they have to stay moving in order to stay buoyant. If they stop moving, they sink.
To have oxygen go across their gills. They get oxygen from the water. That's the only reason.
You're doubling down. You're tripling down at this point.
God.
You're tripling down.
That's just what I read, man. And that's coming from marine biologists that have doctorates.
I've already gone in and double checked this on you from the last time you said that.
The internet is not a good source.
No, I saw pictures.
You have to have
and video.
Credible sources.
In video. There's videos.
In college.
Didn't
you tell me you were a teacher at one time?
Hell no. The only one you can teach is yourself, Fox.
Oh,
Come on now.
That's right. You're a self-educator.
Everybody is, but they give credit often to somebody else for doing it. And when they don't learn, then they take the credit for not learning. I
enjoyed this conversation. I'm gonna go now.
But I'm gonna
go be productive.
But first of all, I didn't read that phone number out loud that you let me see. That witness phone number.
You're eavesdropping on my thing.
No, that's not eavesdropping. You're in public. Eavesdropping only applies if, like, I hide something like a camera or a recording device and walk away from it. But if I'm so close that I'm in the conversation and you're aware of it, I'm not hiding. Like, I wasn't disguised as the air, right? You knew I was there. In fact, I even told you that I was there, and you even knew that I was reading it at first. And I didn't read that out of respect for a witness, but that shouldn't have happened. That was a blatant violation of something. It was a violation of something. It wasn't my violation. I mean, if you want privacy, you can go to the gang lair. That's where privacy is. You know, and I need a card. I see that you have cards and you're handing them out to people. Yeah. I need one.
What do you need a card for?
You're in uniform, you're carrying a weapon, it's your policy that you carry a card, and you're supposed to provide one upon request. And I'm requesting it.
Who's told you that?
Fox, you always doubt me. Have I ever lied to you?
Who told you that?
Have I ever lied to you? You always doubt me.
I don't know.
You always doubt me. I need a card.
You like to give people.
I want a card.
People to run around.
I want a card.
I will give you a card.
What's your problem? Are you low on cards?
Yes.
That's a violation of your policy. Do you have even one?
Do you even know what my policy is on cards?
I don't know every single policy that you have, but I know.
When you can tell me that policy number, I'll give you a card.
I don't have to tell you the policy number. Go find it out for yourself, and while you're doing it, why don't you bring it to me so that I can see it? Why won't you give me a card? I'm gonna post this now.
What?
Well, not now, but I think.
I won't give you a card?
No, I'm gonna post this video. The next video I post, I think.
What?
I don't know yet. I don't come up with titles until I do. But when you see my writing skills, you you might want to start
commentary.
You might want to start complying.
What do you mean? Oh my God! All right, hey, look. There's my card, and then here's a crash card too. Those are my 2 business cards that I give. You know, in the event that you crash into something.
If I crash into something, that would be amazing. I almost crashed into that sign. That accident happened right here.
What accident?
The one on University Avenue. I mean, I got the address, but I don't know where that is. You were there. You don't know where it was?
Which accident are you talking about?
The one you just wrote that report for.
No, it was actually over there.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
All right.
It occurred in the parking lot. So.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I have had this conversation. I've enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
Perhaps, maybe sometime later on this evening, if you're in the area, I'll stop out when I get bored.
Yeah. All right. If you get bored. Detective Vasquez and Sergeant Weston have made it onto my shit list. You'll find that out. They didn't get that sign moved. And Wilco didn't get that sign moved. I'm glad to hear that he did actually make the call. So I'll take Detective Vasquez off of the shit list. He made the call, but really he should have just gotten out of his tyranny mobile, and he should have moved the sign. It would have only taken a second. You know, blind people and handicapped people don't always have a voice, and by the time they get to that sign, that's the last thing they need in their way.
I hear you.
You know. And that's why that was such a big deal. And also because I know it would be a real big deal if the lane of traffic was blocked. And that is a lane of traffic. You don't get to just close down sidewalks. Only the city can close down the sidewalk. You have to have a special permit to do that. You don't get to just place a sign and effectively close down a sidewalk, you know? That should have been taken more seriously.
Oh.
And it got taken care of.
Flag me down.
If you drive by right there, you'll see that that sign is not there. Okay? You'll see that. And if you watch the videos, you'll see, wow, why it's not there.
I'll check out your stuff and then we'll have a
Yeah.
conversation. Okay?
All right. Yeah.
Take it easy.
It's
all
going to
right?
hit you hard, that playlist. You're going to see me like you've never seen me before. You're going to see what happens when I pull my presser out.
When you pull
Yeah.
to press on.
Press on. Press harder. Yep. Press now. Have a good night, officer.
I'll see you later. Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Spread the word. Right?
Master by the name of Bates, smoking more than all 50 states combined. Yeah, right, I gotta stay on the grind. I got no money, so my weed's on my mind. I hit the club, but you know I can't dance. 7 and 7 in my cutoff chance. Tie that shirt in my long ass hair. What part of how I look makes you think I